Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dream Oracle for You. I am your host, Sarah, and we also have Biliana, my lovely co host, on the call. Today is episode 25. Can you imagine that? 25 episodes. We are amazing, and we're really having a lot of fun with this podcast, having many different guests on. And today is no shortage of that. We actually have a super special guest on today, and that is my one and only lovely sister, Nikki. And before we introduce Nikki, I'm going to ask Biliana, as always, to just kind of give a welcome and speak what's on her mind. So, Biliana, the floor is yours.
Thank you. That's a great intro. And yeah, I'm super excited to get to know Nikki. This is the first time meeting her. So yeah, it's going to be a great chat and who knows what the conversation will bring and obviously about dreams. Um, yeah, so I've been having a lot of dreams lately, so it'd be good to maybe share each other's dreams and maybe interpret for each other and yeah, see how it goes. So Nikki, do you want to just introduce yourself and any way you want?
Okay. Hi, I'm Nikki, and I live in BC, Canada. And um,
Don't be shy,
I'm
it's
a
fine.
sorry, not feeling natural right now. So I don't normally do this stuff, right? I'm a heavy equipment operator, and I have a lot of vivid dreams.
Yeah,
Sweet.
cool. Yeah.
So do I.
Well, we're excited to hear about them for sure.
Yeah, I've been
So,
practicing intention lately with my dreams.
yeah,
Wonderful.
awesome. Yeah, yeah. Well,
So,
we'll
do
I
we want
suppose
to
we'll start
start?
with
I was going to say, do we want to start
yeah,
with intention, or we'll leave the intention to a little bit later and we'll just kind of warm up with some questions first?
However,
yeah,
you guys want to
we'll
play it.
come to intention. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll leave intention as kind of the punchline. Okay, well, I'll
Yes.
ask I'll ask the first question, and that's just simply, what are dreams to you? And I know you've listened to some of our episodes. I know you haven't listened to everything we have to offer,
Hmm.
but to you, what exactly are dreams?
Um, Dreams to me are like, well, they're really interesting. Sometimes they don't make sense, and I'm still like, there's so much out there about dreams, like to learn about. Um, it's pretty cool lately to learn how like you can like affect them or change them, and like for instance, I've been trying practicing like pretty simply with like, okay, I want to dream about horses, and then like 3 or 4 nights this past week, I've had dreams about horses, which I rarely ever had lately. I haven't had a horse dream in probably over a year or two.
When you would have horse dreams previously, and then for background, my sister loves horses, as ever
It's
since
my,
she was.
uh-huh.
They're definitely your spirit animal, I think, for sure.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
so you haven't dreamt about horses in over a year. What was going on for you, or like what does a horse dream represent for you, do you think?
Peace, joy, love, connection, and just it's it's hard to explain. It's like the best feeling when you're riding a horse or like connecting with a horse because it's an animal, right? Like they can't communicate with you, but I feel like when I'm with horses, I can hear them.
You can hear them. So
Hmm.
like, do you like have like an internal dialogue or monologue with
Yeah,
horses when you're connecting with them?
yeah, for sure. Like, if you stepped on a pebble, I can tell right away, and I can get off and check it out and make them feel more comfortable.
So you know a horse has stepped when you're riding a horse, you know the horse has stepped on a pebble without actually have seen you stepping on the. That's so cool.
Yeah, exactly. That's a small example, right? Or like if my saddle is rubbing them the wrong way, I can tell that too.
And it's just like a thought that you have in your brain kind of thing, as opposed to like actually physically noticing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So cool.
That's
Sorry.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's
cool.
it's really cool how you. I mean, I, I guess there's no or there's some truth in me just blurting out like, oh, horses are your spirit animal, and that I say that from my background just because Well, as long as I can remember, you've always loved horses, always
Oh
wanted
yeah,
to be involved with them. And I mean,
I've
even
had
when you were
two
in
horses.
exactly, I was going to say, even when you were in high school, you had an opportunity where you could board a horse and stuff. So,
Hmm.
or two, and one of your horses was called
Spirit.
Spirit.
That's my heart horse.
Yeah,
I have a tattoo of her on my leg.
Oh,
Hmm.
so cool.
yeah, cool. So
The
can
unique
you
thing about her. Oh, sorry.
there you go, sorry. You go.
The unique thing about Spirit, before I got her, she got passed around to 12 different homes, and nobody could handle her. Nobody could ride her. She was very aggressive towards other people. And even before I owned her, I met her, and I just had this like instant connection with her. And my uncle actually originally owned her. He's like, if you want to ride her, you can, but I don't recommend it. And I just spent a couple of days with just, being with her. And then by the fourth or fifth day, I was able to get on her back and ride her. And everyone was amazed. But he's like, well, you're the only one that can handle her. You can have her. And this was at the beginning of when I started to experience or start to learn how to like maintain horses and things like that.
Ugh, it's so beautiful. I mean, I know this story, but it's really nice to hear you tell it in this particular way, and also, I'm sure Billiana
Hmm.
is enjoying hearing about it as well.
Yeah, I love that. I'm feeling like there's something about horses, like I need to connect with some horses because I haven't been around them a lot really growing up. And I
They're a
found, yeah,
very
I'm
spiritual
hearing
animal.
about them. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to find someone that has some. So
Well, I'm sure if you want somebody to talk to about horses, my sister is all ears.
Oh, I could talk for
yeah,
days about
definitely.
horses.
Yeah. Um, so I feel like I've missed your answer for what dreams are to you. You said they're interesting, a little bit
um,
weird.
well, I don't have a definite like answer because I'm so open-minded, right? Like dreams to me have always been bizarre because I have such random dreams, but like in the since I've been talking to you and with your podcast and stuff, um, I'm starting to realize like there's more to them than just a random video that's playing while you're sleeping.
Wonderful. So our podcast has done that for you.
Yes.
Oh, that's super exciting. It's exactly what we want to do is to bring awareness to dreams and, to ponder what they are, come up, present ideas and what they can't be. And ultimately for Biljana and I personally believe that dreams are just a way for your subconscious mind to communicate with you.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like if there's anything that you need to work on your life to grow spiritually or what it may be, um, dreams are a key to be able to do that. So,
Yeah, for
um,
sure.
and then you talked about how dreams are, or your dreams are typically kind of random and weird, and but you're realizing that there's a little bit more to that. And then you talked about setting an intention to be able to dream about horses. So you're, putting the intention out there to kind of have influence over what your dream is.
Hmm.
What has that done for you? Like, I mean, I know you're still in the early stages of exploring that, but that definitely is like unlocking something, right?
Yeah, it was quite interesting. I remember like just after we talked about doing intention that night, like before I went to sleep, I thought about it and I was like, like, okay, I want to dream about horses. I want to go for a horseback ride. And then in that dream, and I can still remember, and this was like almost 2 weeks ago now that I had that dream. I was with our Aunt Krista and I was riding her white horse, and it was so like it was majestic, really. It was like such a really smooth ride, and I woke up, I was like, huh, I can actually like in you know put into my dreams what I want to see. Like I can ask for that. And then it happened like three other times after that. So that it's quite interesting that you can do that. I don't really have like a definite answer on what was the question again?
if it unlocks something for you. And I guess where I was going with that is, if you can set an intention for, what you want to experience in your dreams.
Mhm.
And actually, it's one of the most recent shorts I've put out from, I think that was our episode with Alicia from Cosmic Gateway. And she talked about dreams being an extension of yourself, which kind of, leads into the fact that there's not really any difference between your waking life and your sleep life. It's still your consciousness having experiences. And so if you can use intention to influence your dreams, impact your dreams in a positive way, you have this feeling that you have that's very freeing and, a happy feeling. It puts you in a good mental space to ride a horse. And to be able to dream that means that you wake up and you have that elated feeling as well. Then what does that mean for your waking life? If you have an intention for your waking life?
Well, actually, now that you're saying that, since I've been putting attention into my dreams, I must say that I've been a lot more energetic, like a lot more um just positive, like really happy. Um, for example, like I like to have jokes and things like that, but I've been a lot more silly with my friends lately because I'm so happy.
It's just beautiful. It's really awesome. And so
That's awesome.
when you're setting, I'm sorry, Billiana, I'm just running here with questions. I will let you ask some
No,
questions
no, yeah,
too.
go for it.
Um, yeah, so when you're setting the intention before you go to bed to dream about horses and all of that, is that something that you're putting the intention to every time you go to sleep now? And is it like, even if you don't have that dream, or you don't dream about horses, you're still going to sleep with the like happy feeling that you're going to dream kind of thing, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, most nights. Some nights I will say that I haven't been doing it, but most nights lately I've been trying to do that, yeah, for the past at least 3 weeks now that we talked about it.
Oh, 3 weeks. And so 3 weeks setting a positive intention. Besides, okay, here's another question. I will let you talk, Philiana, but um, okay, so you set intention to have dreams about horses, and you've been doing this intention setting for about 3 weeks. You've had several dreams that have actually fulfilled your intention of dreaming about horses. How has your dreams changed before the 3 weeks and now, even if you haven't dreamt about what you intended to? Was there an actual difference in your, I don't know, either vividness, maybe your dream recall, maybe were you having more pleasant dreams? Are they a little more ordered and not so random? I know that's a lot of questions, but
Uh, yeah, they're definitely a little bit more ordered. I tend to have quite vivid dreams actually. Like before that, when I was talking to you about putting intention in, it was that weird dream that I had with like aliens and spirits, and um, it was like really bizarre. It didn't really make sense to me. But then ever since I've been trying to put intention in, it hasn't really been like anxious dreams. Because like this past year, I've gone through a lot of change, and a lot of my dreams in the past year have been like scary in more words, right? But since I've been putting intention in, and mainly focusing around horses, that's my happy place. I'm not having those scary, bizarre dreams.
it's just amazing. You are like, you know, kind of like the experimental proof for our audience members that, I mean, I know you're just like one, you know, if we were to survey a bunch of people, I know you're just like one person out of, a pool of people that could be doing this practice, but you are definitely living proof that intention plays a significant role when it comes to dreams. And I know Billiana and we did an experiment at Christmas. You can go back or just before Christmas, you can go back and listen to those episodes. And we actually did an experiment where we took an entire week where we had no intention for our dreams at all. And then we had a week where we set an intention. And we also did some other things like reduce sugar intake and no eating after 6 and just some other things to just kind of clear up the dream space. And it got to a point where Biliana and I, because we're such intentional beings and we live by intention, to not set an intention before going to bed was actually quite challenging for us. And it really just like our dreams were all over the place and all random and crazy. And yeah.
That's interesting. I'll have to go back and check that out.
Recommend it.
Mhm.
And also like what happens like in your waking life, it can be like quite quite quick to be in your dreams. Like it can be something happened during the day and then it's at night it's happened or something resembling and that's how like connected we are with our dream state and our waking state. So I think that's what people need to maybe look into a little bit more. You don't have to understand your dreams, but maybe understand the connection, the link between but when you're awake and when you're asleep, there is no separation. So that's why even having intention during the day is important, like focusing your intention on, what you're doing at the time, being present. And like for yourself, when you're working with heavy machinery, like just focusing and being aware of like what you're doing every day, like that's super important. Doesn't matter what
Mhm.
you're doing. Yeah. So that's really good that you're getting results like quite quickly. That's like it
Yeah, it was like
shows
almost
that,
instantly.
yeah, it shows how powerful we are.
And how
Definitely.
powerful intention is, right? And if you can do that with your dream space, it just blows my mind. Like honestly, the possibilities are endless, right? For your whole
Hmm.
entire life, really. Um,
Definitely.
Biliana, do you have any questions?
Um, do you have any dreams that really stand out? I know you said most of your dreams are quite vivid. Are there any that stand out that maybe that are relating to when you're awake, like a premonition or anything like that?
That I can recall right now.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
um, there was so like almost a year ago, I was having scary dreams with regarding my ex that was very abusive. Um, and I just kept having dreams of him like coming back to grab me and things like that. But there was always cougars involved. And I'm not afraid of animals. Like I love animals, but the apparently the cougar is related to that trauma that I went through, I guess. Um,
Yeah,
Well,
interesting.
our most recent episode, Biliana and I have learned a different way or a more refined way to think about symbols and how to help interpret dreams. And one of those things is to, first of all, every single detail in a dream is important. Even the direction you went, whether you went left or right, even that can be significant. If there's any numbers that have come through the dream, that's actually illuminating some energy that's in the dream. And the key question that we've learned to ask is when you have a particular symbol, so you mentioned about cougars, and to remember that dreams are like individual, they're very much personal. So a cougar in your dream and a cougar in my dream might mean totally different things because that animal or that situation would mean totally different things to us because we're individuals. So the question to always ask when you're pondering particular symbols and whatnot in your dream, trying to interpret your dreams, is simply to ask, what does this mean to me? So, what does a cougar mean to you? And I can give an example, and you could also go back and listen to episode 24 to have more examples. But for me, it was I used to have a lot of tornado dreams. I feel like I talk about this in every episode. People are gonna
uh-huh.
I'm gonna have to start talking about other dreams than tornado dreams. But it's a good representation. It's a good example. And definitely will be in our book that we're writing.
You're
um,
writing a book?
yeah, fun fact.
Oh,
We're
Two,
actually
actually.
writing two.
Oh,
And first
wow.
time it's been announced to the world. There you go, folks.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Dream Oracle for You are writing 2 books.
That's amazing.
More information to come later because they're still in the very much the, well, I would say almost the writing stages. We've done the outline and the planning and kind of, laid the land of what content we want to be in there. We just gotta actually write them now.
One's a kid's book, so we really want to get this information out for kids as well.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to the symbols with tornadoes. So ask the question, what does a tornado mean to me? Well, I used to associate them with fear because I used to be afraid of tornadoes. I spent some time in Florida where there's always tornadoes. And I had always thought that they represented fear. And then there's been a shift in the last year of my tornado dreams where I would no longer be afraid in my dreams of them. Instead, it was more like kind of embracing and allowing them to like wash over me. And after the conversation in our last episode with Trevor, it came up about tornadoes representing just change. Everything changes after a tornado. And so then that symbol became more clear to me in that it was fear of change. And then the shift in my dreams where I was no longer afraid of them, but now, more kind of embraced. I actually haven't had any tornado dreams since the last shift. But it's like overcoming that fear of change or embracing change as opposed to being fearful of it. So what does a cougar mean to you? You don't have to answer it. I'm just putting it out there for you to kind of think about it. But you can if you want.
Again, because I'm so open-minded, I'm not going to say like this is my definite answer and this one I'm going to stick to forever. But what I'm thinking right now about what the cougar meant to me when I was having dreams of them is a cougar is a very beautiful animal. And like from a distance, they look great. They're very angelic. They're very athletic. But they're very dangerous. They're hunters. They're a predator. And I think the reason why I was dreaming about them is because it's relating to my ex, you know, athletic type person, great person on the outside, but once you get to know them and you get close to them, they're dangerous.
So from afar, he was nice to look at, just like a cougar is nice to look at from afar. But then
Exactly.
up close and personal,
You could be food.
That's a great observation.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's beautiful.
That's
Absolutely
really good.
beautiful. You need to join our
Do you
dream
want to
portal.
co-host?
Well, no, I was going to say she needs to join the dream portal and be like our first official non-admin member of the dream portal.
I actually clicked on that email today. So I did download the app. I just got to go through all that.
The app. You shouldn't have to download an app.
It told me to download an app.
What app? Now I'm concerned.
Hold on. Let me just turn on my Chromebook here. What was that one?
I mean, we can do that after the recording. We can talk about because you should just be able to do everything through the website. Now, maybe it's different on mobile. I haven't tried it on mobile, so that's something Billy and I will have to look
I don't know.
at.
It's an invite, and then it's like click join, and then it sent me the QR code.
Okay.
To scan, and then it made me download an app.
Okay. Well, we will look into that because I don't want people downloading random apps. That doesn't seem right.
It's good to know.
Yeah. So thank you for that feedback.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So for our audience members, the purpose of the Dream Portal, we've just set it up on our website. So you can go to dreamoracleforyou.com. And I believe it's just simply /Dream Portal. The actual link will be in the show notes. Don't worry if I messed it up here in the episode. But that is going to be our place. It's our forum for people you just got to sign up free. It's free membership, just so we don't get spam people on the website. But it's going to be a place to share dreams, thoughts, interpretations, just a community that we want to build for dreamers to share their dreams and perspectives and everything. And of course, want everybody to be respectful and that kind of thing. But yeah, so You're the first invite, so you're going to be our first member. But yeah,
I feel honored.
don't download anything. Just go through the website.
Okay, I'll try that. I will do that after.
Mhm. Where are we with questions, Biliana?
Well, you guys just froze, so I'm like, did I just about to log out?
No, I don't know.
But
Everybody
no.
is moving
Fine
on
on
my
my end.
side, and you're
It's
fine
it's
too.
my internet because the actual the internet here is it's really slow, so I'm using my phone internet, so it's
Uh,
not the best. So I've always got internet issues, haven't I?
yeah, it's really funny. We'll have a guest. Sorry, Biliana, I'm going to talk about this now, but we'll have a guest, and then Biliana will just pop off, and the guest is like, and it's like, don't worry, it happens. She'll be back. Just keep talking.
I see that in your last episode.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, okay.
Uh,
Well, I'll throw.
um,
Oh, you go,
We were just
Biliana, then.
talking about the cougar and
Oh
then
yeah,
and the
sure.
meaning behind that.
Yeah, is
yeah.
there more you wanted to say on that?
That was pretty much it. Like that's how I however, they're not now if I've had a dream lately of a cougar, I don't find them as scary, but I think it's because I've like cleared the energy of like all those attachments that I had in the past.
Mm. So now they're back to
Awesome.
being beautiful from afar, but do they still they don't come at you anymore though?
They're not hunting me.
Interesting.
Hmm.
But you still have them in your dream.
I had a dream with a cougar in it a while ago, but it was it was just like running past me.
Hmm. So what do you think that means?
That I've let that energy go. Like I'm not, I that was after we had that conversation where you said you were like trying to clear my attachments with that energy. And I
Ah,
had a dream not too long after that of a cougar, but like he's just running past me.
oh, that's so cool. So I
Yeah.
That's
helped you
awesome.
clear some energy and then you literally saw the result of that through your dream. Wow.
Yeah, and I wasn't anxious about it. I wasn't scared or concerned of this cougar in my dream.
Oh, so great.
That's
I,
really cool.
yeah, you might
Yeah,
have to come
just
back on in a few months down the road and so you can update us on how your dream journey has progressed,
Yeah, for sure, because it's just starting, like not too long ago, right?
which leads into my next question. So good setup there. When did you start paying attention to your dreams?
I started paying attention to my dreams almost a year ago when I was talking with you about these scary dreams I was having. Like one I can still remember had it last summer, where my current boyfriend was protecting me from this cougar, and my ex was trying to take my dog and things like that. And I've told you about this dream, and you were trying to explain to me like maybe this is what's happening, like why I'm having these dreams, and you help me clear the energy and get rid of the connections to so I'm not having those scary dreams anymore.
Awesome. So before that, you didn't really pay much attention. It was just
I
part of your nightly thing, and that was it.
kind of, yeah, like I remember then I'd wake up and like, I'd tell a friend like, hey, I had this like really bizarre dream last night, and I'd tell them all about it. And they're really always amazed with me, like, how can you remember your dream? And like this is like 2 or 3 days after I've had that dream. I don't know why I recall them so well.
yeah, that's cool. And I feel like a lot of people around this time are becoming more aware of their dreams. Yeah, it's really good. Like for me, like I've always had dreams, but I've only been started recognizing my dreams in the last few years. And I think that's why Sarah and I have met because we're like similar timeline, you and I, Sarah, like with everything that's been happening. So yeah.
Yeah, no,
And then
definitely.
Nikki, you've come along too as well. So it's good.
Yeah.
Bringing everybody on this dream journey.
I actually might have a friend who's interested as well. I was telling her about it today.
What,
And
coming
this
on
weekend,
as a guest?
no, just following the journey of dream intentions and things like that.
Oh, cool.
She
So,
wants to
Awesome.
watch your podcast.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
please do.
I
Please
sent
do.
her a link.
Yeah.
Sign her up on the dream portal.
Hmm.
Yeah. But
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And our podcast is very open. I mean, we are booked until the end of May now, but we're always open to guests, all walks of life, because everybody dreams. So there's always going to be something interesting to talk about and perspectives to share. And we just want to, you know, have a platform to share dream experiences with everybody and just, get people talking about their dreams and paying attention to their dreams and then learning to be able to, well, I think what's the name of our book, Billiana?
Take control of your dreams, take control of your life. Is
Yeah,
that is it
that's
that
it.
way or the other way around?
No, I think it's the dream. Take control of your dreams. Take control of your life. So that's going to be the name of the book.
Yeah,
That's really
Um,
yeah.
cool because that actually resonates with me because that's what I've been doing this past year. I took control of my life again, and now I'm starting to try to control my dreams. That's really cool.
so yours is the opposite. You
Yeah.
took control of your life, and now you're taking control of your dreams.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they go
exactly.
hand in hand, right? Because you've also said
Exactly.
by setting the intention, you're actually happier in your waking life because your dreams are in a happier space. So
Exactly. Even though I was already happy before I started setting intention because of these changes I've made in this past year. But it's just this past like week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, I've been overly happy. Like it's bizarre.
it's awesome. It's very honoring to know that the podcast has had an influence on that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like I've laughed so much this past week that my stomach is hurting. So
Well, it's a good reason to have your stomach hurting. And uh,
exactly.
I know that, like, in the past, if I've had, like, when you've had a really bad cold and you're coughing all the time and your abs just hurt, and you're like, well, I hope I like actually get some abs from all of this coughing. So maybe the opposite. Maybe you'll get some abs from all the laughing.
Exactly. That's what I'm hoping so too.
I had a couple of questions. When you dream, do you dream in black and white, color,
Color.
grayscale? Yeah, color. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Always
And
color.
what about, yeah, okay. What about like your perception? Like, are you always the first person, or do you like watch from afar,
Um,
or a combination?
Sometimes it's a little bit of both. So for example, the most recent dream I had, I told you guys about like riding that white horse. It started off as first person, but then it went to third person. I'm watching myself ride around on this horse. But it's kind of like a
Yeah,
camera. It's like a movie, like the camera like follows.
That's
yeah,
super
yeah.
cool.
That's
So it was
yeah, I
like
like
you were
that.
watching a movie, but it was like you were doing it first, and then it like kind of like zoomed out to. So it's
Exactly.
like in World of Warcraft. I'm gonna throw out a video game here.
Love that game.
Yeah. So it's in like World of Warcraft where you can like zoom in all the way and you're in first person mode, and then you like scroll out and you're in third person view.
Exactly. Exactly like that.
It's really cool. And then
Yeah.
that ties into kind of the concept that's come up. And all of our episodes are honestly starting to blend together a little bit. And I apologize to our guests that I'm mushing them all together, but we talk to so many amazing people. To me, it's just one big conversation that it's just happened to be segmented over months, weeks, and various episodes. But that is the idea that the dream space is really like a big open world video game in a sense where you know and this comes into the idea where you can have different energies affect your dream because it's like the actual dream space. All of us are asleep at the same time. Time's weird, but anyway, all of us are, let's just make it simple, all of us are asleep at the same time, and we're all playing this video game, which is the dream world essentially. And you can have characters be npcs or you can have characters be active players, and then setting an intention means that you're actually controlling or having some influence over your character in the video game. And if you don't do that, then you just kind of are a random npc running around kind of thing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So I got a lot of interruptions.
No, that's
All the
okay.
dogs
Both
keep coming in and out.
Yeah, it seems both of you are have your little ones that are your little furry friends are.
Mine's right here.
There's three here.
Mine's just
So
asleep, just totally.
You got the one that doesn't bark, so.
Yeah. Well, she does meow and she does steal my chair. Oh, speaking of her, she just woke up, did a
yeah,
stretch, turned around, laid back down.
yeah. I had another question about like if you've made this connection like with your different perspectives, like first
Mhm.
person or from afar, bird's eye view, that's the word. Um, when you wake up, how you feel? Is there a difference? Do you know?
In what regards? Like, like, do I feel different with those types of dreams?
Like how you how you feel like after a particular dream? Is there a connection you've put to like if it's your experiencing as that person or you're just
Regarding the
watching
perspective,
the experience? Not yeah,
um,
yeah,
every dream I have, it does that. It's like a movie, like every dream I have, it goes from first person to third person, and it tends to end
yeah, okay.
with a first person view, right? Or a bird's eye, or yeah,
Yep.
bird's eye view is
Okay.
third person. I don't really feel a
Yeah.
difference. It still just feels like myself, you know?
Yeah. And when you wake
Interesting.
up, do you notice like what you feel or how you felt after you dream?
Yeah, it depends on the dream. Like if I'm having a stressful dream, I wake up with like a racing heart, sweats. If I'm having a peaceful dream, like I just wake up peaceful. If I'm having, a dream where I've woke up laughing even, if I'm laughing in my dream.
That's funny. Can you
Yeah, so
remember
like
what dream you were having to be waking up laughing?
um not at the moment, but probably at the time, most likely yes.
Mm.
Yeah, cool. I only ask that because not everyone takes notice of like how they feel after a dream. They're just like, oh, I've had a dream, and then they da 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 go on with their life. So that's why I always like to ask,
Oh
because
yeah.
just to
No,
see if you take notice. Yeah,
oh, every time I wake up for a dream, I just kind of like sit there for a moment and think about what I just dreamt about to explain why I feel now.
yeah,
Awesome. Have you
that's awesome.
started taking a dream journal by any chance?
On and off, yes. I did record um, the last one I had that I can't really explain regarding those the alien. I had one that I called good versus evil, and that was the last one I recorded. The horses ones I didn't really record because I don't know, I just didn't.
Just enjoyed the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just kind of like, oh, that's really cool. Like, I wanted to dream about that and I dreamt about it.
No, it's awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Um, do well, I have another question, but I feel like this question should be more of like kind of the ending question. And I don't know if we have more things that we want to talk about before we get to that. Did you have any ideas, Liliana?
Uh, Do you have you ever had any what do you think deja vu could be linked to dreams? I always bring this up. It's my favorite.
That is a good possibility. I have had a lot of deja vus. Um, None that I can recall of having lately, but there's been situations like, is there anything called reverse deja vu? Like, example, having a conversation with my boyfriend and I bring something up or I make a comment like, hey, like, oh, I remember, or this person looks like someone I know. Well, yeah, you told me that like a week ago. Well, did I? I don't remember. I can't, and I rack my brain. I cannot recall ever saying that. However, I do think he reads my mind. He's really intuitive like that. I'm pretty sure he reads my mind. So maybe that's what happened. Like he remembers me saying it in my mind, but I didn't say it in physical.
Oh man, that's fascinating too.
Oh yeah,
Or he's dreamt it.
that too. However,
Uh,
he doesn't really recall dreams.
yeah. But that's the thing, like you may not remember it mentally, but your body does. So
Mm. That's
So
fair.
it's that energy that it comes from you when you're talking that he's like picking up off. This feels familiar, you know? And yeah, that's I get that a lot. Like I'll be exact situation, exact person, we're talking about the exact same thing. I'm like, shit, I've been here before. And it happens all the time. Like, yeah, this is definitely I've dreamt it or it's past life or no, we're not talking past lives anymore. Like we've renamed it. Well,
I
not
don't know
it's not
what we've,
past anymore.
yeah, I don't know if I've talked about this to you, Nikki, or if or if it's been in if you've seen it in an episode, but it's the idea that when you go to sleep and you dream, you're actually accessing higher dimensions. And
We
the,
briefly talked about it.
yeah, and the current dimension that we're in is like the 3D physical dimension. And that the idea of past, present, future is this linear construct is also something that is kind of created by, I guess, our mind, ourselves, so we can understand the 3D reality we're in. But when you access higher level dimensions, there actually is no concept of time. There's only the now. Everything is layered on top of each other. And so a past, present, future all exists at the same time. So when Billiana says we're trying not to say past lives anymore, it's because all of these realities and timelines are all stacked on top of each other. So there isn't really any past. There's just higher dimensions, really.
It's all happening now.
Yeah. So,
Oh, yeah, that's hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah, it is.
which is why the 3D reality has created the concept of a timeline or a past, a present, and future. It's because the brain just can't seem to literally wrap your head around the notion of no
Yeah.
time.
And I was even listening to someone who was talking about, if if there's like trauma in your, what do you call it, lineage, and so like it's passed on through the generations, and if you healing yourself, um, heals the previous ancestors and then the future ones. So like even, people in your life now, like your parents, if you have trouble with your parents, you healing yourself can heal them as well. So that's not real. It's also linked to like time because there's
Wow.
people that have passed, and I was like, that's so true because my family relationships have changed slightly because I've healed myself. So I know it's a bit off topic, but yeah, I'm just
No, well,
how we yeah
we
we
can bring
maybe
it back to
yeah need
dreams.
to. But yeah, it's the same like with the time concept of your dreams and that sort of stuff. It's you feel like your dream has gone on all night. It could have been just like that much. You just need it's a glimpse, and yeah, so it's quite interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I'm still thinking about all that. So yeah, it's good.
It definitely resonates with me, and it also kind of ties in a little bit to the idea with dreams that and this kind of ties in with deja vu a little bit, where the dream time can be the opportunity to for your higher self to lay the groundwork for something that's coming for you in the future in this reality. So um I'm trying to think of an example, but kind of like those conversations that you've had that are deja vu, Billiana. I know that in the moment they're like, "Oh, I've already done this before," but maybe there was a particular way that that was supposed to play out, and so you access it in a dream, and then that then comes into reality. There's so many ways you can think about it once you like accept that dreams are an extension of yourself and they are, your consciousness having an experience both during the waking time and the sleep time. The possibilities are endless of like what it all means. And sometimes I find myself going down into this like spiral. I don't want me not going down, going up, going up
I
into
call it a
this.
rabbit hole.
well, yeah, a rabbit hole, but it's, the closest thing that I've been able to wrap my head around what this is that we're experiencing with dimensions and timelines and dreams and all of those things is honestly Doctor Strange. You know, infinite universes, infinite possibilities, and everything is happening now. Or maybe I shouldn't snap my fingers.
I think there's a new movie coming out called Time Loop, and that's the Doctor Strange time loop. And I seen
Oh,
like a short of it, and he was just there was like this I don't know, a bad entity, and he just had like a continuous time loop, and they keep doing the same thing, but that entity started to recognize that it was like in a time loop, but still, yeah, it was quite interesting that coming out now as well,
yeah.
with
Well,
people's awareness and all that around time.
oh, 100%. I mean, I definitely feel that the Marvel movies, a lot of these sci-fi movies, I actually had a friend say this recently to me, where he said, um, reality is stranger than fiction.
I
And it's
agree.
it's like a lot of the things in movies, there seem to be little bits, tidbits that just honestly just seem like that is actually the reality that we live in. And there's a lot of people that say The Matrix was a documentary, things like that.
Yeah, so true, so true. Well, Sarah, what's that question that you want to ask?
Yeah, maybe it'll
Okay.
snowball to other things because we'll give my sister a heads up that the last question we usually ask is if there's anything that you want people to know about dreams or anything that's on your heart to talk about. So I'm just putting that out there now so your heart has time to think about what it wants to say at the end. But the question now that we're going to focus on that I thought was kind of like a wrapping up question would be, do you have any dream goals? Are there things that you would like to accomplish in and through your dreams? And this actually could be actually a conversation opener because um, accomplishing things through dreams. We haven't talked anything about lucid dreaming because we've had lots of episodes about it, but there's lucid dreams, being able to control your dreams. You're focusing on at the moment, setting intention and allowing things to come into your dreams with intention. So to recap the question, do you have any dream goals? And are there things that you would like to accomplish in and through your dreams?
Um, Dream goals. I don't really have any definite ones, but things I do want to accomplish with my dreams are like, I want to try to get to have the control of my dreams. And, like you told me about this dream you had a while ago about flying and had control of that. I want to see if I can get that to happen.
Yeah, the flying dream is kind of, I mean, I don't have the relationship with riding horses like you do. I mean, I definitely have enjoyed riding horses in my lifetime, but the number of times I've ridden a horse is very small.
What I've done
uh,
in a week.
yeah, your week of horse riding is like my lifetime of horse riding. Um, but like a flying dream for me is probably comes with that same sort of feeling of just really happy, feeling free, and that kind of thing. So yeah, so you want to work on lucid dreaming then. So I recommend
Hmm.
you go back and listen to episode 20, I believe it is, with Melissa Johnson. She's from the Dream Hub. She's a dream therapist, and she um, has done a lot with lucid dreaming and overcoming nightmares and really taking control of her dream life through lucid dreaming. And we've have lucid dreaming kind of
And,
peppered throughout all of our episodes pretty much, but that one in particular is a good one to go back and listen to.
and she
Hmm.
mentions lucid living as well.
Yes, yes.
So
Thank you.
like questioning your reality when you're awake, as well as, and that will help you to question your reality in your dream. So that was a really cool way to start off lucid dreaming. And I've heard that before, like even when you look at like a clock in your dream, it's like if you look at it and you see time and then you look back at it, the time will change because it's not real. But when, like, I suppose that's when you're awake that you start questioning these things. Like you look at the clock, look away, and then look at it again. And if it's the same time, then you know you're awake. So, like, these sorts of things. That's when she's talking about lucid living. This is
Yeah.
Melissa Johnson. So yeah, that was a cool thing she mentioned.
Yeah, it was. And one of the things that I got from that episode was one of the ways to train yourself through the day to train yourself through the night to kind of recognize that you're lucid dreaming is to just stop randomly during the day. And I don't know if she set an alarm to do it. I can't remember if that was, we'd have to go back and
Yeah,
listen.
yeah,
But at certain points during the day, I think she probably set an alarm. And you would just stop and be like, you would ask yourself, is this a dream? And if it was a dream, what would I do? What would I be doing? And you just kind of ask yourself throughout that. And then it also kind of trains your mind in a positive way because if you're asking yourself if this was a dream, what would I be doing? Because the idea is when you're dreaming, you can do anything, flying, going against the laws of physics that keep us in this third reality. What would you do? You'd do anything. And obviously, I feel that your answer to that question is always going to be a positive answer. It's going to be doing something you enjoy, which is kind of where the first thing when I brought up about dream intention to you, and you're like, oh, so I can dream about horses because that's something that you really enjoy, that makes you happy.
Mhm.
So if you stop and ask yourself, oh, is this a dream? Am I dreaming? If not, what would I be doing if I was dreaming? And then what'll happen is you're training your brain to constantly be questioning reality, kind of questioning if you're dreaming or not. So there are two levels of lucid dreaming. There's actually more, but I haven't really gone into the full depth of it. But in my mind, there are two main levels, and that is just being aware that you're dreaming. So consciously being aware in your dream that, okay, I know these things are happening. I know that I am dreaming, and you're just kind of going along with it. And the second level is actually being able to control it. So being like, I'm in a dream. Oh, I want to fly or I want to run or, just having that actual control. And so if you're training yourself throughout the day to be questioning whether you're dreaming or not, when you're sleeping and there becomes a moment when you become lucid and you recognize that you're dreaming, you'll ask, oh, am I dreaming? Oh, this is a dream. What would I do? That kind of thing. And then go from there. So that's your next trial.
Now that'll be interesting
Yeah.
to try.
yeah. But when you dream, Nikki, are you aware that you're dreaming?
Not until I wake up.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, not until I wake
Yeah, I'm
up and
still
I'm
gonna
like,
work on that
wow.
sometimes.
And
Mm.
when you first wake up and you like realize, oh, like I was just dreaming. So you didn't realize you were dreaming while you were dreaming, but you said they're also vivid. Are they like so vivid that it's almost like reality?
For the most part, no, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so for the most part they seem like reality, but there are things in there that, don't make sense until I think, once I wake up and think of it in my dream, like, well, like that's that's not reality. Like a giant alien that's so big it can walk across a lake that's 100 feet deep.
Might be reality.
Yeah.
We don't know what the unseen
Maybe.
world has.
Maybe.
Right. Oh, fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I think we have gone through all the questions that I had on my
Yeah.
list, except the only other one that I had, but I feel like you kind of answered it by talking about maybe your horse dream, but maybe you have another one. That was just like, what's the coolest or most memorable dream that you've had?
The most memorable dream I've had. Hmm. Probably actually that good versus evil one. Um, it's it involves aliens, but like they're good aliens and they're here to protect us. Um, and but it's also about our souls too. So he was protecting our souls from getting ripped from our vessels. And then the evil aliens were coming to rip those souls out of the vessels, leave the vessels, on the ground and take them off for some kind of experimentation.
Fascinating. And so that was memorable.
Hmm.
Um, do you think there's any possibility that that could be part of actual reality?
If it is, that's scary.
But is it though? I mean, if you've got the good ones there to battle the bad ones.
For sure. However, the evil ones seem to have been winning.
Why do you think they're winning though?
I think there's a lot of evil in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they're winning because people are easily led and manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they're it's hard to explain that really. Um, I think it has a lot to do with maybe like the way social media and government is maybe playing into it too, like where everyone's connected to their phones now. So it's kind of like brainwashing us. They're not connected to themselves in this earth anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
totally agree. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So they're not connected to their souls, I guess.
Yeah.
Or you're not
Yeah.
having a relationship with your soul. And so if you don't have a relationship with your soul, then obviously it can be easily manipulated or taken from you. But the beauty of all of this is that we are sovereign beings and we do not consent. It may appear, but we do not consent to any of this. We do not consent to, being manipulated, being controlled. And when people realize that and they come into themselves and take back that control, then evil loses.
That is very true. I can totally resonate with being in control and taking back control and saying no, because I went through that a year ago. For 8 years, I was controlled. And I said, no, I'm not doing this anymore. You can't do this to me. And I made that separation and now I'm in control of my path forward.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And I like to say to people that you can think of everything in your life as an offer. So you can say yes or no to anything in your life. So you can, accept the things that you want and then say no to the things you don't want. So even like you see on the news on social media, people offering to say like, oh, you should read this book or you should watch this podcast, that you have the choice to go, do I want to go that way? Or is that the distraction and say, no, I'd rather be living my life, you know? So you can look at it that way and then it becomes like there's no good or bad. It's just where you want to put your intention and attention. So
Yeah, that
yeah,
was
Yeah.
beautifully said, Biliana. That was great. Where you
that's
want
all
to
I
put
got.
no, and it's so true. And everything that's going on in today's world, where people get all wrapped up in all the negativity. And in Canada in particular at the moment we have an election coming up, and I've heard rumblings, of a friend or somebody's like, oh, who are you gonna vote for? What's gonna happen here? And I'm like, no, I'm not giving my attention to it. Like, no, it's strictly meant to divide. It doesn't matter. And I've said this in this podcast as well before. I'm sounding like a broken record, but left versus right, there is no left and right. Left and right are the same beast. And it's just all a divide tactic. Everything in our life currently, if there is something that you're putting your negative attention to or that's causing you to have a negative reaction, it's because it's a divisive control tactic. And the way that you
Yeah.
gain your control back is by not giving your attention to it. So don't get wrapped up in the news, the media, the social media. the misinformation that's out there, all of that. What you do is you focus on you, because that's the only thing you can control, is how you react to situations, where you put your energy, how you allow your soul to exist in this physical dimension, this physical vessel, as you called it earlier, Nikki. Um, yeah, I've lost my train of thought there, but
I
it's
But you
definitely
can
don't pay
also,
attention to that stuff.
yeah, that's good.
you were
Yeah. I
gonna
was going to
say,
say it's also like with your dreams, like there's a lot of stuff out there to separate our dreaming and our waking life, having like they're very like separate things, but really they are one thing. And yeah, it's like that divide and conquer strategy. So if we can just really come back to ourselves and know that we are, our waking and our dreaming is all one. And if we try to understand both, then that's one step forward in the right direction.
yeah, absolutely, where you take control of your dreams, you take control of your life, and don't allow
Yeah.
things to divide you.
Yeah.
It's
Sweet.
really hard to wrap your head around the fact that it you know, waking and dreaming are the same, but what you perceive is different.
Yeah, well, and there's so
Yeah.
many different angles you can go with that, but you know, if we zoom out, completely zoom out, we're on the same page that we're souls in a physical vessel, in a physical body. Well, what is a soul? Maybe that's a question to start with.
That is, I don't have an answer for that one.
How about you, Biliana? What's a soul?
It's our energy, essence of it, like it. What's the word? Just our yeah, energy essence, I guess. Like our original essence
It's like
before
who we
coming
actually
into
are.
this body. Yeah, yeah. It's not physical. It's just energy. So you can think of it like that. Like same with spirit. Like people, soul and spirit can be depending on how you interpret it. But yeah, that's all I think it is. It's just our original blueprint essence before we come into this reality and any other dimensions or realities. So yeah.
I see
It kind
some
of makes you
gears
think of,
turning.
yeah, it kind of makes you think of paranormal. Like, like what about those souls that don't have a vessel?
Yeah. So, okay, we'll get there. I just have to say, a lot of synchronicities have been happening for me this past week or so, and it's so weird that you bring up paranormal. When you mean the movie, right? What
No,
do
I'm
you?
talking about in general.
Oh, okay. Because apparently
Just
there's a
paranormal.
movie called Paranormal, and I
Oh,
heard
there's all
about it.
kinds.
Yeah. And I heard about a podcast I was listening to recently. We're actually going to have the guests on at the end of the month, called The Interverse, or Journey to the Interverse. Two lovely ladies who talk about dreams and their experiences and stuff. It's really great. But they were talking about paranormal, and I don't remember all the details of it, but they just had brought it up. And so when you said paranormal, I'm like, I just like heard a podcast where they were talking about this movie Paranormal. But you're talking about just paranormal in general, like the concept of like ghosts and you know.
Yeah.
So souls that don't have a vessel, well, a couple different ways to think about that. For me, a soul that doesn't have a vessel, I mean, there can be there's a couple of reasons why a soul wouldn't have a vessel. It could be that their vessel died and they have not gone back to source, if you will. Some people call it God, some people call it spirit, some people call it the universe. I like to call it source because it's the source of the energy that we are. Um, the source also is the one conscience, so another way to think about it. Um, so yeah, a soul that doesn't have a vessel, it could be that the body has died, and then that soul has not been able to go back to source and just kind of is existing in this kind of third dimension. But I also believe it's like the opposite, where, well, I don't know if you call this the opposite, but it's like a soul that has not reincarnated in a physical body, but it can still exist in this dimension and all dimensions, especially through dreams. Dreams are, you know, have you had dreams about any loved ones that have passed on?
Yes, yes, I have. And I've
And
actually had a friend have dreams of that person as well. Brought them a message.
okay, we're gonna have to talk on that one if you're
Mhm.
comfortable.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
um, but when you've had these loved ones in your dreams that have passed on, how has it felt? I'm going to bring up Biliana's. Biliana focuses on interpreting through how you feel in a dream, and I usually end up focusing on symbols and whatnot. So, how
Hmm.
did it feel um, to have them in your dream?
And
Like, did it feel like them?
yes, it felt like them. Like in the dream, it almost felt like reality, but in the past. Like I'm just having a conversation with this person, and I'm telling, okay, it was a dream about mom,
Yep.
and I'm telling her about how much my life has changed, and she's so happy, and she's like laughing with me and hugging me, and when I wake up, I I have to it's almost like I woke up in the past, but then it's like, oh no, okay, I'm here now. Like I can't actually have a conversation with her.
Mm. But
That's interesting.
if we're talking about souls being eternal, and
Hmm.
that their souls are just a form of energy, as Biliana put it, or our energy essence. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It just,
Hmm.
it can change forms. Um, and we talk about this essence being individualized. So for me, that means that, and I believe in reincarnation. So it has to be this way in my reality because it's what I believe in. Your souls live on. You come back and forth. You go on this planet, maybe you go to a different planet in another reincarnation, if you will. And so it brings comfort when you're dealing with loved ones that have passed on because it means that they're not really gone. They have just changed form, or their form exists in a different dimension or a different space. They're no longer in their physical vessel here in this
Hmm.
timeline, but they exist elsewhere in higher dimensions. And that's why I think that dreams are accessing higher dimensions where souls that don't have a vessel exist. And there's a way to, uh, you know, there's a way for us in this physical body, the souls here in this physical reality, to bridge the gap to other dimensions where souls without a physical body exist and to be able to communicate. And you made a comment about receiving some sort of message. And for
Hmm.
me personally, I've had several dreams about mom as well. And they're amazing. They're just like being able to, I honestly, it's a little bit hard to say sometimes, but I'm sure you can resonate with this. Is it's a way to spend time with her energy that I didn't get to spend when she was actually in her physical body.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And I'm hoping, actually, that's probably one of my goals maybe now is to have more dreams to connect with other souls.
Yeah, beautiful. Cool.
Yeah,
Hmm.
So
cool.
through our conversation, we have come up with a goal.
Hmm.
I
The
know that got a
possibilities
little,
are endless.
Oh, they are. Absolutely. And that's the beauty. You talked about being an open, very open-minded and everything. And that's why the possibilities are endless because you're open-minded. And
Hmm.
that's why Biljana and I just love what we're doing here at this podcast. And we get so excited and we're just, have 2 months booked into the future
That is
of
crazy.
guests because, we're just reaching out to people and saying, hey, you want to be on our show? And, here they are. And that's why you're here too, because you and I would be texting each other about stuff dream related. I was like, well, why don't you just come on our show and we'll talk about it on the show? So
Yeah, exactly. Because I always have questions and things like that, and you know, I've told you about a few of the dreams I've had, and but you want to touch on that the message part.
yeah, I think that would be cool to hear. What do you think, Biljana?
It actually
Yeah,
gives me
definitely.
chills. It's it's really it's really crazy. Okay, so it's regarding my current boyfriend. I've known him for almost 4 years now. We talked on and off until about a year ago, and this is when like my life changed drastically. And my best friend that I've known like most of my life has always been really concerned about where I was at in my lifetime at the time. And then as soon as I'd made these changes, she had had this dream where, and now remind you, she didn't know who my current boyfriend is at the moment. She didn't know what he looked like. She didn't know anything about him other than I thought he was a really nice person. And so she had this dream where my mom came to her and she was like in this like it was kind of like a void, like it was an open void. And my mom came and spoke to her and showed her these like flashes of images, like almost like little index cards. And one of them was a picture of an arrow with some scribbling in the middle, like it was almost like calligraphy in the middle. Picture of an arrow with that. And she said, you will find this on his forearm, on his right forearm. And it was actually a tattoo. And then she told my best friend, like, you do not have to worry anymore. She is safe. I am at peace. And then she had walked away. And through conversation, I was talking with my best friend. Like, I tell her everything. I'm like, I am so happy, like, with the changes I've made. Like, I had to go through therapy and things like that. And like, I've met this wonderful person. We are connecting really, really well. And I sent her a picture of him, and she sees on his arm this tattoo. And she's like, whoa, that's what was in my dream. That image right there is what was in my dream. And she's like, now I know that what your mom was bringing to me in my dream was that he's the one that's going to save you.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, this is the mother hen in me coming through a little bit though. I caution you with using the word save you though.
That's her words, right?
Oh, okay. Okay, sure.
That's not
Uh,
my words. That's her words.
okay, okay. Then you're off the hook. Just because, we are individuals, right?
He
And
definitely helps me, but he's not here to save me.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah, I don't need to say any more then, and I don't need to mother you on. We can do that offline. um, yeah, no, that's powerful. And I remember you telling me about that dream, but I remember there being also, unless this is a different dream, but I also remember there being something about a dog as well.
Right. Yeah, that's right too. She talked about a dog that was with him, and she didn't know he had a dog, and it was a black dog. I think she had mentioned it was a black dog. I would have to go back over our conversation because I saved it because it gives me chills thinking about it. Um, oh no, it was about how we connected, and that was through me and him started. We met through going on at the dog park. Like he met Storm, my puppy, and he had his dog, and that's where we our connection kind of started. Was with going for dog walks or at the dog park, playing with our dogs together.
No, awesome. Very awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So you have a wealth of, oh, we can't hear you, Biliana.
I was going to say the dogs know, or animals know how to get to our hearts.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you definitely have a wealth of dream experiences to share. So get on the dream portal.
For sure.
And to our audience members, please join the dream portal. Check us out, check out our website. And also don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm just gonna get that out of the way now.
Yes.
um you talked about you said you have a lot of questions and you and I usually talk offline and stuff, but do you have any questions dream related now that's like burning and you want to know more about?
Not really burning. Um, do I have any questions? Have you ever had messages like to another person that's regarding you through dreams?
Hmm. I haven't not that that's coming to my awareness. The only dream that came to mind when you asked that question, it's more just about what I would classify as a visitation dream and just having a loved one visit. And honestly, it's this particular dream experience that really has snowballed my um interest in dreams. I mean, I've always been interested in dreams throughout my whole life. I mean, I remember in high school having some random dream like, oh, what does that mean? And you're trying to look it up online to find a dream interpretation or something like that, but it never really resonated. But this particular dream it was probably the first time that I can remember that I actually felt a physical energetic sensation in a dream. And it was one of those dreams. I'm sure, hopefully, you've had this. I know other people that have been on the show have talked about it. How you like wake up because you have to go to the bathroom, and sometimes that's like in a dream. So in this case, it was I actually woke up. I actually went to the bathroom, and I came back and I laid down. I was sleeping on the couch because I was at mom's house. It's like 2022, and I lay back down to go to sleep, and then I wake up, but I wake up in my dream this time, and I like sit up on the couch, and I look over, and this is our grandfather who passed away 2010. So a long time passed over, and he was just sitting there, and he was just awesome, like his true essence, his happy go lucky, just radiating grandfather vibe. He wasn't sick, it wasn't, there was nothing wrong, it was just our pure grandfather. And I wasn't having any dialogue with him, but I knew consciously what he was thinking. And then in my dream, mom came by and Bob was there as well, her boyfriend. And I was just so excited. I'm like, mom, like, look who's here. Like, look. She couldn't see him in my dream. And then all I said to her was, Pop says you're beautiful. And like our mom, she was definitely a spiritual person, I would say. Um, but I think there was like that little bit of like believe she would believe that like this sort of thing would happen, but she might not necessarily have ever experienced it. I think that might be the best way to save it. But having said that to her in the dream, like, oh, Pop says you're beautiful, it's like she knew in the dream, like, yeah, he was there. Even though she couldn't see it, she knew that and accepted that I was seeing him. And so that had happened. And then he started to, like, I had the sensation that he was going to leave. And all I said to him was, but Pop, I don't know how to use my gift. And then I woke up. And so it was like for months and months, it was me like, well, what is this gift? Like it felt so real. And I felt like the message that came through was real. And I was like, well, what is this gift that I have? And I just started paying attention to my dreams. And sometime later, I've realized that I have some intuitiveness when it comes to dreams and being able to decipher and decode a little bit. I still have a lot to learn. You know, I'm not pro at it because I don't know how to use my gift. I'm learning how to use my gift. There may be more gifts involved, but that one in particular, I have come to realize has come from that dream. But that dream in particular has really just made me accept so many things and be open to so many things. Because before that point, wasn't exactly on my spiritual journey, we'll say that. It wasn't exactly, you know, believing that there's more beyond this physical reality. So it was a game changer dream for sure.
That's really, really awesome, actually.
Billiana.
Yeah, I know, I keep muting.
That's fine.
No, I was just saying thanks for sharing that. That's really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what this podcast is about, right? Sharing.
Yeah.
That's a really, really cool experience.
It was. And I didn't talk about the energy of it. So how I knew, so this was actually a lucid dream. How I knew that that it was a dream while I was dreaming was when I came out of the bathroom in my dream. Oh, because I'm not sure if I mentioned that. So it was like I woke up, went to the actual bathroom, came back just to go to sleep, woke up in the dream, went to the bathroom, came out of the bathroom. And like it was just this weird loop. I think we talked about what is that? What did we call that? The dream inside a dream, Billiana? What did we call those? I'm blanking right now.
Um, isn't it
Inception dreams?
intercept?
Inception?
It is an inception dream. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Inception dream. So a dream inside a dream kind of thing. Anyway, I came out of the bathroom and noticed that I was like attracted to the fire alarm. There was like this energy surrounding a fire alarm. And so I went up to it and I realized I'm like, this fire alarm's on the wrong wall. This fire alarm's normally on that wall. And that's how I knew it was a dream because the fire alarm was in the wrong place. But yeah, so this energy, like it actually like came into me and I could feel the vibration on my body of this like strong energy. And it actually picked my body up and rotated me horizontal and then picked me up and put me back down. And then I went and laid back down and then woke up in the dream and saw my grandfather. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So any more questions come up for you, Nikki?
Um, no, not really. No, I don't have any questions at the moment. I did have one a while ago, but I forgot it.
Yeah, see, that's why you have to do what I do and have a notebook and pen and write it down as you go.
I thought about doing that earlier, but I left it over there and it's over there now.
I don't have any other questions, so yeah.
No, we're definitely to the end of my questions. So I guess I'll pass it over to you, Billiana, first. Do you have any closing thoughts or words that you would like to say? And then we'll ask my sister to do the same.
Yeah. I just want to
What's on
say
your
thank you very
heart?
much, Nikki. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for coming on and sharing everything because it can be quite daunting, especially like, we're out in the public sharing all these things, but even to just share, what's on your heart and what you dream about, because it can be quite intimate, like those things about yourself, to even share it with someone else. So it's really great, you coming on here and giving people confidence to maybe start thinking about dreams and sharing, with your parents or your best friend or your partner, because it's super important to share and connect with other people. Even talk to your animals. I've mentioned that before. Like tell it to your animals because they may not understand your words, but they understand your energy that's coming through. So that's what I do that all the time. So yeah, thank you for sharing everything you shared, and yeah, hopefully you can come back on in the future and share more and your progress and with your intention and all that. So Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I've always been a bit of a or oversharing. Speaking to animals, even back in the day when I was with my horses, I'd tell them everything.
Oh, awesome.
Probably why they love you so much.
Probably, yeah. Well,
Well,
they heard all the good, the bad, everything.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I believe that everything has a soul essence, if you want to call it that, has an energy. Anything that has life in this physical realm has got that life. It has that light from the creator source. So therefore it is part of source. So therefore it is a soul. And so, like, even your plants, I have all these little seedlings growing at the moment, and I check on them every day and give them water if they need water. And I just tell them, like, you guys are all awesome. You're going to grow great. And, just have that conversation with your plants. And it's like talking to your animals as well. I mean, I talk to my cat Ion all the time and tell her she's the best cat in the world. And she's so cute and so fluffy. And I love her so much. And, all of these things. And, we talk to our animals and our plants like that. We should also talk like that to the people in our lives as well, just to
I
kind of put
agree.
that out that for a little reminder. So yeah, sis, is there anything on your heart, anything on your mind, last kind of thoughts you want to get out before we wrap up? And don't hang up when I stop recording
Oh
after.
no, I wasn't going to.
Good.
Do I have any thoughts to share or I don't I can't think of anything right now.
Do you have anything that you would recommend to anybody starting to take notice of their dreams? I know that you're early in your journey, but maybe you can be a inspiration for our listeners and anybody who are just starting to notice their dreams.
Definitely you want to be open-minded and try to be receptive, like um anything is possible and just kind of like take a moment to sorry, I just had a phone call come in. Sorry, I just got interrupted. A phone call came in.
No, that's okay.
um just try to be receptive and be present, like kind of meditate, I guess, like take a breath and just especially with nature, like go outside and take a moment to appreciate your space and um yeah, mainly to be open-minded. Anything is possible and look for knowledge. Wisdom is, talk to other people. That's how you learn.
So
Yeah.
join the dream
Yeah.
portal.
That's a good one.
Yeah, exactly.
Putting that
Yeah.
out there for everybody.
Mhm.
Awesome. No, that's really great advice, especially to get out into nature, be open-minded, be receptive. Definitely need to have all of those, not necessarily the nature part, the nature is good, but definitely being open-minded and receptive is the key to even being able to recognize that there's anything more to dreams than just, like, you, in your words, it's not just a movie that's playing while you're sleeping, to
Exactly.
entertain you. There is some underlying feature to that. So thank you, to echo what Billiana said earlier. Thank you, sis, for coming on. And this has been I really enjoyed today's conversation. I mean, I always enjoy talking to you. You're my sister, but and I always enjoy talking to Billiana as well. But today in particular, I think was a very special episode. I think that future guests, our audience members, I always call our audience members
You say
guests.
that every time.
I know, I'm like totally manifesting that anybody listening to our podcast, like, just reach out. You can come be on our podcast. If you're listening, my sister is proof. If you're listening to our podcast, you can be on it if you want, of course. Anyway, today's episode was definitely packed full of little tidbits, nuggets, great conversation that I think that will benefit our audience members. So thank you to my sister for coming on and sharing your journey so far and your future goals and prospects with dreams. We can't wait for you to come back on later on and to see how your journey has evolved. And of course, I've already said this a couple of times, but please, everyone, check us out. Check out our website, dreamoracleforyou.com. We're on most of the socials. You can follow us on Telegram and Instagram are our most active ones. And yeah, everyone, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you for sticking with us this long and listening. And as always, please just keep on dreaming.